So let's talk about the touchpad, Dan. How you think it might kind of get represented in game in the GTA series, perhaps even in GTA 5 when it comes out on next gen.
Yeah, I think the PS4 obviously features an explicit touchpad. It's not dissimilar to what we're getting already on PS Vita. Perhaps the obvious use is that we know that GTA 5 features a map that's very similar to Google Earth.
Yeah.
Now this isn't GTA 5's map we're seeing here. This actually is Google Earth.
Yeah.
But, what it would allow you to do, the pad, on a very simple level, is just do classic pinch and zoom. There's Los Angeles, drop in, where's Michael, where's Franklin, drop in, drop out. It's just a nice intuitive gesture, and again, it could easily be done with an analog stick, but I just think it's another thing Rockstar could include that exploits what PlayStation 4 could offer.
Yeah, and I guess from a practical point of view, that they'd have to. It makes sense for it to be on an options menu where you would normally find a map, the map option to be on, because then you're sort of pausing. Then you're using the touchpad with whichever hand you want to use, and it's not interfering with your game. But how does that? I think you're going to go on and talk about how it might use. The touchpad might get used in other areas of the game. How do you see this touchpad kind of working when you're full into you're shooting and you're kind of you're ducking behind cover?
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of it. There are useful ways to use it, and there's ways to use it purely because you can.
This makes sense. The map stuff makes sense because you would have paused the game, you're going in, you're having a look around, and no one's trying to shoot you in the head.
You're swiping along the map, you're pinching in. Obvious uses are things like sniper rifles and precision zooms, and using your finger to go easy, and just get things right like that. That could work. Another thing could be because we know there's mobile phones in GTA 5. And mobile phones are almost all touchscreen. It's just a simple way to replicate what your actual mobile phone does. So if you had a series of apps on screen, you could just use the touchpad on the pad to move through them like you would in real life.
Yeah, here we're seeing a succession of people getting killed by a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Made even more realistic on the touchpad.
Yeah, and I'm not going to even pretend that this somehow will transform the experience. So you go, this is truly the 100% game of all time because you can zoom in with a sniper rifle using your fingers. But it's just another neat use. And I think there's lots of little ways they could use it. And I think largely to mimic functions that we expect to do touchscreen 4 stuff in real life. And, we'll talk later about how PS Vita links up with GTA 5. And that should help. And we can see here he's got his iFruit phone.
Yeah.
So,
are we expecting there to be, he's got iFruit phones. I guess this is a bit of a punt, but do we expect there to be, I assume there's going to be tablets as well, maybe in the game that we might be able to...
Yeah, probably.
If they're having a little swipe at Apple, then, not swipe, but if swipe. Brilliant. Just what I meant. I meant that, obviously. But if they're having a little a bit of fun at Apple's expense, it would make sense to them. The only reason I ask is because that would be another possible reason to use your kind of touchpad.
Absolutely. And I don't know. There's all sorts of ludicrous applications related to mini games. You could use it for swings in the golf mini games. Stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That might be all right.
Tennis.
There's tennis. Maybe that's good. But the truth is, a lot of Apple gaming is you use the touchpad, and it's good for some stuff. A lot of stuff you think, "Where's my controller? This is driving me insane."
I guess it's how much precision they're asking you to have in game. Because the touchpad is never very precise on. Well, the touch technology is never that precise.
Yeah, exactly.